Oh, wellness director like you.
So I pulled up. I showed up. I was like, wait a minute.
Hi you guys, welcome back to another vlog. As you guys can see, I'm back in my office. We just had stand up and right now I'm just prepping for our third-party meeting. I have a busy day today, and at the end of the day I also had a move-in assessment scheduled at 3 o'clock, so I was just trying to make sure I have everything done in the office before I was to go in for that assessment. Sometimes our third-party meetings can take a little longer than anticipated. Today specifically, I had a lot of follow-up questions for one of our residents. Because we only meet once a week, sometimes the nurse who comes in from home health, sometimes her notes are a little late or just not as updated. So we just go back and forth updating each other. So it's time to continue testing the residents. I started earlier this week, and today I was just trying to finish them all so that I can update my boss. So what do you guys think about this angle? I literally had my phone set up facing down using the back camera on the cart that I was using with all the tests and equipment, but it ended up working. I mean, I didn't know how else to angle you guys. But anyways, this is me just checking on the test and crossing names off. And I did that for about like 45 minutes.
I took the test, so I have my certification. So I take the course last month, $1,450, 3-day virtual course. And I'm just...
And then the test is what, at the end of the 3 days?
At the end, but it's open book. So, but the thing about it is this. The catch-22 is this: you're a nurse, you're ED, and you're a nurse. So you'll have a wellness director like you, the wellness nurse. But if your nurse decides to quit or fire, now you have to do both. You're the ED and the nurse. If state regs and regulations says you must have a nurse in the building. Well, I do have a nurse. My ED's a nurse. So now I gotta do clinical, and I gotta make sure the budgets is met in order, and so you gotta do 2 jobs. Run the whole building and yeah.
For morphine, we got 15.
So I'm here counting off the narcs with the incoming agency medtech. She was running late, but it's all right. I enjoyed her conversation. But anyway, she was just telling me about how she's interested in becoming an executive director and the steps to take to get your licensure to do so.
All right, that's it.
Yeah. But who?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emma. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. Today is Thursday. I have just left a rehab facility where one of my residents has been there for like past 20 days. We've been trying to get this resident back to our facility, but for some reason, like, it's been so hard getting a hold of somebody over the phone, like a case manager, where he's at. So I got tired of calling. I've got tired of trying to leave a voicemail but not being able to. So I pulled up. I showed up. I was like, wait a minute, we're not about to low-key kidnap my resident here. So I went there. When I got there, I asked the receptionist to speak with the case manager. She told me that she was in a meeting, but then, you know, she happened to just be walking past. So lets me know that she's the only case manager in the entire building, and that she started in December. I get that. She's probably catching up on a lot of work. But here's the kicker. So I tell her that I'm here to see my resident and also, you know, see about if they've had any discussions yet for possible discharge. And she goes, oh, we haven't been talking about it yet, but I don't know what kind of insurance. He must have really good insurance if he's been here for that long. And I'm like, this is exactly what I was suspecting. Like, they're keeping him there just to keep milking the system. And I'm not okay with that, because, you know, this man needs to be at home in his comfort zone. Rubbed me off the wrong way, the fact that she kept bringing up as really good insurance. But anyway, so we found him doing his physical therapy appointment. And I asked the physical therapist straight up, I said, you know, do you think that he's fit to go back home, to return back to the facility? And she goes, yeah, we've kind of hit a plateau with him, so, you know, I don't see why not. And I'm like, it took for me to just show up unannounced for them to let me know that, oh yeah, you know, he can go back home. But the case manager made it sound like, oh, I don't know yet. It depends on what physical therapy is saying. But this is what makes my job really important. Sometimes that's all that's needed, you know, for somebody to show up and show that they care. Anyway, so I'm happy I got to lay my eyes on him. He looks good. He looks like he's lost a little bit of weight, but he's doing all right. I'm heading back to the office right now for an emergency, in which I don't think I feel comfortable with saying what it's for, but I'm really needed in the office. I'm really needed in the building right now. I started this vlog actually yesterday. I vlogged a little bit of my day, and then today I decided to just pick up the camera and actually talk to you guys. It's been a hell of a week. I gotta sit down but I'm glad that it's Thursday and the weekend is almost here. But I just wanted to say thank you so much to you guys, those of you who have subscribed to my channel, the kind and encouraging comments that you've been leaving under my videos. I appreciate them all so much. And my goal is to upload at least once a week. If I can, I'll do more, but my main goal is to upload at least once a week, and then we'll go from there. I'm still new to this content creation, so like it's not an excuse, but so a few things that's been going on. We've hired like 6 caregivers, which is awesome, but I'm also sad because I lost 2 really good med techs. I didn't lose them, but one of them transferred to another location because of the drama that's going on, and then the other one is quitting to go because she's accepted a job somewhere else. It makes me really sad because I'm losing my team players, my stars. So you know, hopefully I can find some really good ones that, you know, we can work well together. But it makes me really sad as a nurse, like losing your best workers is it's unsettling to me, to say the least. So I'll sit down and get into more details about it, but essentially both of them are leaving because of the schedule, because I don't do the schedule, but essentially it fell down to the executive director, and who was dipping and dabbling on the schedule and doing things that she was not supposed to be doing. And you know, unfortunately, some of my care staff got tired of it and they left. But anyway, would you guys be interested in seeing like the things that I get into on my days off? And it's not, you know, I don't have the most interesting life of all, but I can, you know, I do some fun things like relaxing. But if you guys are interested in seeing what my life is like when I'm not at work on weekends, just let me know. I don't mind, you know, showing you guys a few clips of here and there what I get into. Since the year started, this whole self-care, but it's really important, especially to me as a first-time mom. I spent all of my first year as a mom last year, I spent all of that year tending to my kid, my child. And so now that I feel like I've gotten into a groove of things, we've got like a routine down pat, I would absolutely love to start focusing back on me and taking care of me. With that being said, I've been contemplating on signing up for a membership, not necessarily to a gym, but I love cycling, and I was thinking about joining a membership to do that, just a few classes on weekends, or twice or 3 times a month. I really need to get back to stretching and just like doing things that I used to do before I became a mom, a busy working mom. Because I feel it. I have so much to catch you guys up on, but last week, for about 3 days out of the week, I was on the floor doing care. And y'all, the last time I actually did that was in 2019. I don't know what took over me, but I don't think I practiced good body mechanics when I was giving care to my residents last week. And so my entire neck and my back were just like through. And I still feel the aches, but it's not as bad as it was last week. But yeah, I kept saying, I was like, oh, I haven't done this in a while. The care staff was just like laughing at me, and they're like, you see what we're talking about? It's a lot of work. I said, look, I've done this work before. I'm not negating that it's, that it's not hard work. But the thing is, I haven't done it in a while. So my body was like, oh, sis, welcome back, I guess. One of my residents just got put on hospice. And while I was at the rehab checking in on my resident, hospice company was there with a family and they wanted to see me. I'm like, I was not aware of this meeting, but I'm headed back there now. But essentially, so whenever we have a resident on hospice, especially if it's like a new hospice company that the family chose themselves, for every nurse, for every hospice company that comes around, I like to give them my business card, and I like to be in communication with them at all times. So send me an email, let me know if you saw my resident today, what kind of care was done, did they have a shower with the hospice nurse, what's a shower schedule like, what's, how many days a week is he supposed to be seen by the nurse, is there skilled nursing, like what are we doing? When you come in the building and you're seeing my resident, what's going on, what did you do? So I usually like to be there when the case managers are there meeting with the families and creating a care plan, because it just keeps me in a loop. I like to know. I'm almost at my job. So the caregiver, the second caregiver that I told you guys about, today's her last day, and I'm thinking about what I should get her as a gift, as a goodbye gift. She loves Starbucks, and so I was thinking either stopping at the store and getting her a Starbucks gift card or Amazon gift card. I'm not sure yet, but I'll figure that out when I take a lunch break. It just upsets me so much, and I wish that there was something that I could do about it, but unfortunately, I'll mention that in a sit-down video. But long story short, we just have an ED who tends to not stay in her lane, so she wants to take control of the schedules. She wants to have control of, basically like some of everybody's job. And it's like, leave people alone. We hired a business office manager for a reason. Let her take care of the schedule because it's part of her role, and stay out of it. And because she can't stay in her lane all the time, the caregivers and my med techs they've grown sick of it, and now they're quitting, and they're wanting to go somewhere else where, it's not where the job is not as demanding, and where their schedules can be followed. So yeah, I'm just like, yeah, it's just a lot. It's a lot. That's all I'm gonna say to that. It's a lot.
So I'm back in the office, just catching up on a lot of work. I ended up working on entering that assessment that I told y'all I was going to do yesterday. So my mood was a little down just because my med tech who was leaving, it was her last day today. And so I essentially just got in the building, got to start working, and just try to focus on work so that I don't get too much of my feelings. But essentially on this day, I just had a bunch of catch-up work on the computer. I checked on my residents, had a few complaints from the previous shift and the night shift. Of course, I feel like I'm always struggling to have a decent night when it comes to, especially when we're using agency overnight. But just following up with our residents, and then of course family complaints through emails or when they leave voicemails on my phone. And it makes my job hard because sometimes I feel like I'm all out of excuses and sorries, you know? I just got back from seeing a resident's wound. Yeah. I just needed to meet up with the wound nurse upstairs and just see how well it's progressing. Some I was actually able to see it was before the holiday break, around December, and so I'm happy to see that it's getting a lot better because he has come a long way. So it was a big surprise because the last time I saw it, it looked horrendous. I scheduled a resident to get his shingles vaccine. So this is the receipt. I'm about to enter it in the system, approve some of these medications that pharmacy just notified me of, and then go on the rest of my day. So yeah, I will check in with you guys later. It's a slow day and I'm not used to it. And I say slow because there's not really urgent matters going on in the hallway. So it feels like a slow day, even though right now when I'm looking at my to-dos on the computer, there's lots that I can get done. So I'm not used to that. I'm usually used to running around, but I guess I'll stay put in my office and do some computer work for a little bit. And I'm okay with that because I'm always complaining that I barely have the time to sit in the office and do some work. So let me get started on this work here. So it's the end of the day and I'm responding to an urgent email. But you guys, look at my office. Look how bare it is. If you guys have any suggestions of how I can decorate my office, please leave them down in the comment section below.